One of the reasons why I started my collaboration with Lucy on our COP21 that led to the trip to Paris was that she was talking about global migration as something caused by climate change. And I was actually thinking that perhaps like people from Pakistan or countries around there are, some of them are already moving to like areas, not necessarily to Europe, but they're like moving as refugees because of climate issues. And I thought there was some connection. And in a way, now we have this specific issue which is caused by war and like economical reasons. But it might be not so unrealistic that in 10, 20 years time we might be starting to look at people that actually have to move because the environment where they live is not supporting them, is not like making it possible to go on the way they are.
Indeed, I fear we face a direct threat to our civilization if we allow large numbers of people from that war-torn region into Europe.
I'm a recent graduate from MA Industrial Design at St. Martin's. I graduated last year, 2015, and my project was research on the topic of illegal migration to Europe, and I tried to explore with the mindset of a designer what it means to actually go through a journey from Africa or Middle East up to Europe and try to express what that meant through objects. And every object I developed is looking at DIY methods of assembling items that might be used to cross a specific border. My argument was that this topic is being dealt in the wrong way by media, and to find a way of expressing that without being like, without bad taste was quite hard, and I had to rethink of the items so many times and like how to convey them in the best way. These two pieces are part of what I call the stowaway luggage set. It's basically, they're both made with this fabric, which is the one you get from what you call a China bag or laundry bag. Those checkered patterns, which is red and blue. And that's really like iconic of that kind of bag, and that it's been always connected to migration. And those two items are looking at the way that migrants try to cross the border from France to the UK, and how they try to do that climbing on lorries that are waiting on to pass the channel. And the first one is basically a bag whose handles have been extended to create a ladder, and it's looking at the way that migrants actually open the back door of a truck and try to get in, like just like throwing something and trying to, with a hook at the end, and trying to get into, I don't know, a box of goods and as something to hold on to and quickly climb on it while they're like slowly moving or waiting in queue. The second one instead is looking at the way migrants try to hide themselves inside trucks and not to be recognized by thermal imaging cameras. I've discovered that they use space blankets, which are basically that really cheap blanket that is given for free by charities and NGOs to migrants that have just arrived, and there's sometimes they're like forced to sleep outdoor, and it just keeps you really warm really quickly because it stops your it contains the heat inside. So they're using and the device I designed kind of applies the same principle, that people should screen themselves with that material. Clearly it's not aimed at being something that I'm pushing people to use, but in a way it's looking at what it's actually being done and kind of giving it a more definitive shape as if it was a design product. I think what brought me to develop those items was to kind of give people that are not exposed to this kind of condition, clearly like us more, it's talking more to us more than to them, and try to enhance empathy in a way that they might start looking at what it means with a slightly more close point of view, and that is really hard because like you have the media giving you a certain image of how those people are like distant from us and different from us, but actually if you think, I don't know, of Syrian refugees, they might have like a degree and a job before the war and still be considered as like those poor migrants that live far, far away from us. You think of design and sometimes you think of not really useful things, of superficial and superfluous things, but at the beginning of design is just people trying to solve a problem. The video that I developed is of like a look at what this fake police officer might explain about how the investigation started, and while doing that, she was showing all the items that I developed as if they were classified documents and classified items that were collected by this authority. In a way, it was quite fun, but looking at what is happening right now with policy and like enforcement happening at the borders and fences being built inside the European Union, it doesn't look so fictional anymore, which I'm not sure is a good thing.